Boy, let's see. Get this set up. We are live. All the way live. Come on in, people. Come on in. RB in the building. That fast. Yo, Mac, what's happening? What's going on with y'all? Got some things to cover. Some things I found out today. Before everybody else come in. So I got I know I keep saying this Cena troll. Yeah, we're gonna touch on that in 1 second. We're gonna touch on that in 1 second. But I want to bring this up real quick because yes, most definitely. Yo, Muhammad, what's going on? So my woman just informed me earlier today that I didn't know. I did not know. But I was wondering though, why it's been like extra cold out here. It's like more cold than it usually is in the month of December, and it's not even winter yet, right? So come to find out, we have fog, a toxic fog covering California. It's literally blanketing California. And it's the wildest thing. Like seeing fog is one thing, but like there's toxins in that fog that is blanketing California. And I'm like, yo, they is really trying to eliminate us out here. And I was wondering, like, why is this not bigger news than what I seen earlier? Well, when they don't want you to know and there's an agenda in play, these are the type of things and scenarios and situations that come about every single time. It's just it's wild. Let's see. I'm doing okay. Were you busy? Actually, I was knocked out. I was knocked out. I was, and by the time I woke up, it was already like the end. And so yeah. But I did hit him up. Hold on, let me see. I don't know if he's busy or not, but yeah. But just stay tuned though, because we got something coming for y'all. Like I say, doing great. Just chilling, relaxing. Yeah. So, have you guys heard about this toxic fog, which is crazy? So I was telling her, I was telling my woman earlier, I like this is reminding me of that movie, the Mist. Where that fog covered the whole town, and the residents were trapped inside the grocery store, and they had like different creatures inside that mist and everything. Like, yo, tell you these movies you can't ignore these movies. Can't ignore these movies. Oh yeah. That apparently this is being discussed. Like I've seen the photos, so I mean it's not something that's like, it's talked about in certain spaces, but I ain't, what I'm saying? You can't deny it because there's video evidence. Forget the photos. Photos could be worked on and everything, but that video is very, very compelling. you know. Oh, hold on. I forgot to give 1 second, y'all. I don't know why I didn't take that out before. All right, there we go. So I'm like, cause like I was outside earlier and I was blowing it and raking up the leaves and stuff, and I had to stop because my hands felt like um ice bricks. Like I couldn't grip anything. Like that was like, and I find out about this afterwards. I'm like, that makes sense. And and what they were saying about it was that's why it's been colder than normal because the whole thing from the ground and the air and the mist and it's kind of like blocking in the cold. So the longer the cold stays locked in, the colder it's gonna get. Crazy. You know. Some wild stuff. Some wild stuff. You know. But I'm not surprised though. I'm surprised. The only thing I'm surprised about is the fact that um how much area is covered. Now, one of the first thoughts that popped into my head was, oh, this probably got something to do with harp. You know what I'm saying? Harp popped up in my head because harp be controlling the weather and all kinds of stuff. So I was like, you know. So far, I'm doing okay. Just chilling, relaxing, watching, and listening. I want Jay Miller to have to say about John Cena. Oh yeah, yeah. We definitely gonna get to Cena, but I want to bring that to y'all attention because they might try to do this type of stuff. Of course, it'll be different, but you know, considering everything that's going on in this country, let's just say wherever you at, don't be surprised if you start seeing some weirdness going on that isn't of the norm. You know, so I just want to bring that to y'all attention real quick. Because I was like, I was telling her, you know what, you gave me something to talk about. I'm gonna bring this up. you know, so and that's the other thing I was because I want to ask Leo if he had heard about it because that's some. Oh, what was that? Oh, okay. So now we gonna switch over and we gonna talk some little wrestling. It was hot in Houston today. You would have loved it, man. You look, I was just thinking to myself like last night. I can't wait until summer. I can't wait until it starts heating up again because this cold has been crazy. But now that I know why, now it's like, ugh, they might try something in the summertime. But I definitely would have loved it though. I was, man, you know, I don't mind the heat. You know, I don't mind the heat. I mean, I do got my limit though. I do got my limit, but I don't mind the heat though. You know. You know. Oh, and I want to say this too. Before we move on, um, I don't know if these clowns are still alive or not, but I'm gonna send a direct message to Sinetta, to Unc, to Dr. Reggie, scary Reggie, who, by the way, backed out of a debate. You know, so yeah. As far as I'm concerned, he's disqualified from talking anything. You know, you run away from a debate, I don't want to hear from you. So, um, and the rest of them clowns over there, tripping and running into walls and totally discombobulated over FBA. Well, I'm here to tell y'all that real soon, don't know when, but real soon, I'm going to have a live completely dedicated to FBA and why these pan idiots have lost their everlasting mind in overcomplicating the situation. And I'm going to embarrass them. I've already started embarrassing them just by my comments. You know, if you guys been paying attention to my comments, I've been speaking on over the last couple of weeks. I've already been kind of embarrassing them, you know, because I don't need to overcomplicate it. This is not a trigonometry, you know, class. You know, you ain't got to put, you know what I'm saying? This ain't geometry or algebra. You ain't got to use square, simple cut across the line. And I'm going to use their own Pan Africanisms against them to prove the point of FBA and why it's been existing. And hold on, and why they ain't been saying nothing that Jesse and Shabaka brought. We're talking about it this morning about that woman in Florida who's Haitian and only cares about the Haitians. Yeah, we're gonna cover all of that. We're gonna cover all of that, and we're going to make them look like complete idiots. And if they want to come, they are more than welcome because I'm going to do a StreamYard. It's going to be a panel, and they are more than welcome to come in and join in and listen and pay attention because I'm going to completely. If y'all know me, and you've been around me long enough, you know I am going to completely annihilate Sonetta and the rest of them. Because that's what I do. I completely annihilated the Nation of Islam. I have no dealings with the Nation of Islam. I don't want to work with the Nation of Islam. I don't want to have a conversation with the Nation of Islam. That is dead. I don't want to have nothing to do with them. They have more than enough time to come and holler at me, but instead they rather had sent their threats and all of that. So that's fine. You go ahead and you know what I'm saying. So, and I'm gonna send Sonetta's old behind to the old folks home where he belongs. You know? Yeah, right. Should have run into walls. Was trigonometry, if you don't mind. Trigonometry, to put it quite simply, is one of the most hardest, annoyingest mathematics you could learn. Just to put it simply, this, you know, I that shit had my eyes spinning doing this. Like, what the hell is this shit? like I was like, okay, geometry, I got that. Algebra, I got that. Algebra 1, algebra 2, all of that. But you get to that trigonometry part, oh, you know what I'm saying? Because I seen they was live tonight, and I'm just like, oh my god, you got to be kidding me! Another live about FBA? Another live about FBA? and all this. We don't have organizations and we're not organized and everything. Like, you guys completely have lost your whatever intelligence that you had left, but it's completely, you guys are done. You're done. You're done. You're done. Anything that you guys have ever talked about, I am going to completely annihilate. Annihilate, you know. And Sarnetta, I heard you bring up some elders of the past, particularly Francis Chris Wilson. That was a major mistake that you did. And I'm going to completely slice you up like some pizza. Okay? Because I'm not the one. I don't care how old you is. I will come for you. I'm not one of them. Look, if you're an elder and you've been doing this for a long time and you done got to a certain age, you don't need to be bucking up at nobody. Plain and simple. You don't need to be bucking up at nobody. Because I'm not the one to sit here and just because you're an elder, I'm just finna automatically just give you respect off of that. No, I would give you respect off of that if you weren't pumping your chest out, disrespecting in the same area where you pumping your chest out at. I would give you that. But I'm not one. They don't call me Jay Militant for nothing. I don't care about your age. Because Louis Farrakhan, that old hag, I will still run circles around him. I don't care, because disrespect is disrespect, and disrespect will not be tolerated coming at FBA. It's not finna happen. It's not finna happen. And you guys constantly look. This ain't the 70s. Look, this ain't the 30s. This ain't the 40s. This ain't the 50s. This ain't the 60s. This ain't the 70s. This ain't the 80s. This ain't the 90s. Okay, all that respecting the elders, regardless of what they say, that's out. You're not finna just garner respect just because of how long you've been here and how much work. Like, you put in the work, okay, I can respect you put in the work, you put in the time. Okay, I give you that. But when you add disrespect along with that towards other Black people, especially us over here, that are literally doing the same thing, and this is the crazy part, doing the same thing that other people from the diaspora have been doing for decades, and you guys weren't jumping out your body then. But for some reason, when it comes to us over here, you guys have a very serious, major problem. And one of the things that I brought up was, how is it we could be indigenous everywhere? Because all I've ever heard from you Pan-Africanists was, we're indigenous everywhere. We're indigenous everywhere in the world. So if we're indigenous everywhere in the world, then why is it hard for you guys to give us that claim here in America? So everywhere else in the world is indigenous, except for the Americas, what they call the Americas. Is like, that doesn't even add up. It don't make sense, and I can't buy them lunch with that bullshit. Oh shit, what's up, good? It sure ain't. It sure ain't. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. So I am, and Jesse knows. Jesse knows. I will completely annihilate everything about Sonetta, everything about them over there. I will not, because this is what I do. And I've been doing this. Long before I was going live on YouTube, I was doing it on Facebook. I was doing it in person when there was no cameras. You know what I'm saying? This is what I do. This is what I was built for. You know, I if you guys would have just let us be us and let us do what we're doing, and you guys continue doing what you're doing, you wouldn't hear a word from us. But you guys say that we're undisciplined. And you talk about organizations doing all this and doing all that. Like, how are you saying that we're not organized? See, this is what I be talking about. Like, what the fuck is wrong with people? How are you saying that we're not organized and we literally organize every single time, particularly when there's things going on, we organize. We don't need a, a group with a organized name like the Amun Ra Squad or the Nation of Islam, you know what I'm saying, or any of these other groups that haven't done. And you guys keep talking about all the stuff that they have done over the years. Please tell me, what have they done for us? I'll wait. I'm still waiting. What has the Nation of Islam done for us besides pass out newsletters and bean pies and suck up to the celebrities? What have they done? Because if they was really about us, if they was really about us, then it don't make a difference how high or how low on the totem pole you is. I, I, I'm personally speaking, I would have had a phone call, right? I would have had a phone call, or I would have had a knock on the door when I was going through my transgressions when I was younger. But where were they at? Nope, nope. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but when OJ, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, here comes the Nation of Islam. You know what I'm saying? Nipsey, here comes the Nation of Islam. And every other black celebrity that existed, here comes the Nation of Islam. If they were so influential in the black community, then why are projects are still run down? Why are black people still getting ran out of their neighborhoods? Hmm. Hmm. Why is there still so much that we have to deal with? But this great, powerful organization with all the resources and all this money doesn't drop a piss in the bucket to help us out. Right along with the rest of them organizations that we used to look up to and praise and love and honor and all that. What have they really done to help any of us? Hmm? Shabaka didn't know the slaves were sent to Africa. And that's another interesting point. You know, wait, hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. Okay. All right. See, he didn't know that? Yeah, he wanted to argue with me about it, man. Yeah, and all that. Wait, hold on. He didn't. Wait, hold on. So, see, okay. Now, even before we started delineating from them, one of the things that I learned about the whole slave trade thing. See, this the key word is trade. The slave part, that's just the physical part. That's the person, the physical part. The trade itself is the commerce. That's, you know, we'll trade this one for that one. Or if you say, okay, well, we're going to take this one and you're going to come with us over here, and then you're going to stay here, and then we're going to take them, and then we're going to come back over here. It's as simple as that. And that study is in Pan-Africanism. Yo, Tyler, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he didn't know that kind of, oh, it's kind of weird. Because the thing about it is, how else was they able to get them over here? They had to use the ones over here to take over there. You know what I'm saying? The trade, trade, trade. People are not people talk about linguistics and all this and words and they don't even pay attention to their own shit. No, I'm not. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Because I know some of y'all want to hear about the Cena thing, so I'm gonna get to that. You know, it doesn't add up how they look. They don't even know their own shit. We know more about the slave trade than they do because there's key points in that they refuse to talk about. You know, case in point, how like what I just about? How else do let's get somebody that look black, FBA, and let's take them over there, and then you know what I'm saying? It's a whole manipulation thing attached to it. Power, greed, like these are the building blocks of what we have today. And the fact that that was not thought about or he did not know about, and I guarantee you there's a whole lot more of them who will say the same thing. Oh, well, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, there he goes. Yo, what's going on, Leo? He should have. He should have. Because when you study it, it clearly states it. It clearly states it. Like no black person should not know this. You know, it's a whole system they ran. It's a whole system that they ran. And the ones that they couldn't get, they would use the ones over here to go and capture them to bring them back over here. They would use FBA to get them over there to come back over here. And then you had FBA that would either end up staying over there. Oh, hold on, or or here goes something else they don't talk about. Or they would get shipped somewhere else after they was done over there. Some of them got shipped over to the Caribbean after they got sent to Africa. Mm, there's a little something that ain't. Oh my God, did I just bust open the box? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But excuse me for just being one of the people that's been ahead of the game for over 10 years now. Now I ain't got all the degrees and all that because at the end of the day, you still have to go to them to go get those degrees. I don't need those degrees to have the knowledge and the information that is factually correct to prove my point or FBA's point of why, where, when, and how. Hmm. Hmm. You know, because they want to be on this kumbaya type of stuff, but they can't even get along with their own selves. But they talk about us like we're the undisciplined, we're the unknowledgeable, we're using pseudo information. Well, how is it pseudo when just because you don't know about it? See, that's the thing that they do. When they don't know, they want to throw that pseudo word at you. You know what I'm saying? And then people like Ankh want to always refer to science this and science that. First of all, this ain't got nothing to do with science. Okay. uh, Science, it got something to do with biology. It got something to do with biology. So if you want to talk about that scientific part of it, you still lose. You still lose because all these Africans that you guys constantly say came over here is not the case. It is not the case, and we've even stated that just because you FBA, you can still be anything else you want to be. It's your decision. You're not just tied down. Just because you're FBA doesn't mean you're tied down to just FBA. You want to. Jesse brought it up. You could be Pan Africanist. You could be an Israelite. You could be a Christian. You could be, a Jehovah Witness. You could be a grocery clerk. you could be anything you want, but that doesn't change your bloodline. That don't change your bloodline. Mm. Oh, there's a game on right now. Oh yeah, you want to be an FBA pimp? You could be an FBA pimp. You could be an FBA pimp because all FBA is just your lineage. It doesn't define who you are as a person though. You know, right? And that's what they keep tripping over themselves over. Oh, but we're gonna get into it though. So I'm definitely gonna have a special live on that. It might even be a blackout episode. I haven't done a blackout episode in quite a while. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just like with anything else in the world. You could be anything you want. Mm. You you could be a Christian and still be a sociopath, still be a serial killer, and do all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So exactly. He said, "Hurry up and finish rolling." Yeah, you know when I get going, man, I shoot. I remember I did a live one time, right? And I was talking, and I was sitting there like, oh shoot, I didn't even roll up yet. I didn't even roll up yet. Oh shit. Let's see. Oh snap, lady Che. Gotta be on film. Oh yeah. And like I said, they are more than welcome to come on over. But I know they won't, because quiet as kept. I tried to get these cats in a debate a few years back. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's going on? You know, but I don't know what it is about people that don't want to debate me. It's the craziest thing. You know, I could almost understand it then to a point, but I've been going strong at this for over 10 years now. You know what I'm saying? I must know something, right? I must know something. Because why keep talking about something that you don't know about, right? Man, everybody. It's it's an open panel. And look, I'm going to title it The Destruction of Pan-Africanism. The destruction of Pan-Africanism. You know, at all. At all. Like how many times have we been trying to debate these fools? You know what I'm saying? Everybody that we done came across, how many times have we tried to debate? And they will not debate us. And we've given them multiple opportunities to debate us, and they will not debate us. But they got all these scholarly things and everything, but they won't debate us. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, why you got your chest all pumped out, but you won't debate it. Oh, but then they get to moving the goalposts, right? They get to moving the goalposts right to left. They get to, you know, especially when they get caught up, then they want to move it somewhere else. You know. Mm. So it's definitely, and y'all know how I rock. Y'all know how I rock. You know what I'm saying? This 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 is one of them lives where you better put the babies to bed. It's gonna be one of them lives where you got to put the babies to bed. You know that. because I don't play with this. I don't play with this. You know what I'm saying? And being as one of the early, I probably call myself a pioneer in a sense, because I'm one of the ones that literally delineated, if you want to use that, I literally delineated years ago because I seen the BS that was going on, and I wasn't going for it. I was not going for it. You know. Yeah, they got a bad habit of doing that. Yeah, very bad habit. You know. And this is what I look. I've been reading books for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I've been reading books for a long time. I've been studying for a long, long, long time. You know, long before I even gotten into any movement, anything. I was studying, you know. Because one thing growing up that I had, you know, I didn't have a brother that was close in age. So we didn't like grow up together. You know what I'm saying? So it was me, my books, my puzzles, my little kid computer I used to have and all that. I'm learning. I'm learning, you know. And once Pandora's box got busted open, you know, during the woke era, oh, what? I could I could finally, I could finally, I could finally what? This oh, okay. Cool. Got it. Got it. You know what I'm saying? So and just case in point, case in point, you know, kind of going back to where RB had asked, can there be an FBA pimp? Look, my spiritual foundation is comedic. My spiritual foundation is comedic. So the fact that that is, there should be no problems with what we're doing, you know. And see, that's going to be, and I'm going to say this right now because I know it's going to happen. That's going to be a setup question. It's going to be a setup question because once I bring that up, they're going to be like, well, if you don't want to be a African, or you don't want to acknowledge Africa or all this and all that, then why are you practicing African spiritual foundation? And then this is what I'm going to come with. This is what I'm going to come with. Why are you a Christian? Why are you an Israelite? Hmm. Hmm. I'm just going to bring up the two things. You hear, that was over there. So if you're going to question me on that, then please explain to me, how are you this and how are you that? But you're not from there. Hmm. Hmm. Just a little something to, you know, get the pot boiling. I ain't gonna give away everything. I just give a little, you know what I'm saying? A little appetizer. Give a little appetizer, you know. Because I know what I'm gonna say up here already. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to give y'all a little appetizer. You know what I'm saying? Be like, ooh, ooh. Because that's gonna make you think. That's gonna make you think, like, oh, wait, hold on. Kind of got a point there. Hold on. Then if you, but that ain't come from, hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then if we can get Unc to come on over, I'm going to bust him with that Charles Darwin garbage. If you are African, then why are you studying Charles Darwin? Mm, 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 mm. It's a cold world, ain't it? It's a cold world, ain't it? We gotta keep learning, even got to. Hey, Mac, I've been saying that for years. I've been saying that for years. You know what I'm saying? See, Saturday's main event is on in GCW. Oh, they got a show tomorrow? Yeah, sure. Might have to tap in for that. Cause even like my mom, you know, devout Christian and all that. You know what I'm saying? And I was even able to teach her something. She learned something from her son that she did not know about. And I would show her. I didn't just talk about it. I actually pulled up the information and showed her. Like this is, you know what I'm saying? And she even asked me questions. Once they start asking you questions, boom, they want to learn about it. They want to know about it. You know what I'm saying? And she was open to it because she thought about it. She was like, "Yeah, that is kind of you know what I'm saying." So and just with my family's history with a certain organization back in the day, you know, she wasn't she wasn't that person, but she knew enough to know where the line was at. So agree is it up. Agree. Like you should never too old. Nope. So let's see, August. He is. He is. Yeah. So we got that coming. And see the thing is they gotta be open to it. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like with anybody, you know, they gotta be open to it in order for them to take in the information, you know. So we got that coming. So let's switch it on over and let's talk about John Cena. Let's talk about John Cena. John Cena. John Cena. And why I don't care. Now, a lot of y'all know I've been watching wrestling for a long, long time, right? Long, long time. And I've seen career matches. I've seen retirement matches, last match, all that. Whatever they wanted to title it, I've seen it. And the one thing that I've noticed about each of those times was they were given an opportunity to go out the way that they wanted to go out. That's the first thing. The second thing was the emotion of it. Like even when Roddy Piper retired in 1987 after WrestleMania 3, you felt the emotion. Even as a kid watching that, you felt the emotion of it, because you knew that this guy was never going to wrestle again, or so we thought, you know. Or even like when Hogan and Flair had the career versus career match in '94 at Halloween Havoc in the cage. You felt the emotion. Like, one of these two guys ain't gonna wrestle again. These are two guys that I grew up watching, you know. And then at that time period, for a lot of us, we were well into our teen years, still being a fan. You felt the emotion. And of course, we know Flair lost, but that wasn't Flair's last match. Speaking of Flair, going to his match against Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. That was one of the even now, even now when I go back and watch that match, great match, love the match. But the emotion, the build up to when Shawn Michaels said, "I'm sorry, I love you," before he hit the super kick. Tell me you couldn't have felt that. You know what I'm saying? That was like that was the old Yeller story. Like I had to take old Yeller out back and you know, even Sting in AEW. Now a lot of us thought his last match was in WWE, but he came back. And that emotion, that feeling like, damn, this is it. I haven't felt because his heel turn should have never happened. That was a makeup call that Triple H tried to correct from Vince when after WrestleMania 28, when Cena wanted to turn heel, when that would have been the absolute right time to turn Cena heel, and they didn't do it. So that was a makeup call. And they fumbled that. They fumbled that. And then just everything that was going in, like, it's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we like? This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. You know, I don't care about this. Can we get the belt? Like, it was so bad that people wanted Cody as champion again. I didn't. I would have preferred somebody else. But that's how bad it was. And then the fact that he wasn't there, you know, as a world champion. Now, okay, tradition speaking, you didn't always see the world champion on TV every week, right? Wasn't always the case. You might have seen Ric Flair a little bit more on TV than you would see Hulk Hogan, but you wouldn't see him on TV every week. That was then. This is a whole new time. Wrestling, the format of wrestling is different now. We need to see the champion. You know, what if it's not in a match, do a vignette. What happened to vignettes? Where only certain people get a vignette? Like, you remember when multiple people had vignettes and they all brought you in. They all made you want to watch. They all made you want to see what was going to happen with this character, this story. You get about two. It just be two. It be the Wyatts. And I guess I've seen, I guess Maxine had did one. So look, you got two. You know, but you have multiple vignettes building into the story. You don't have that no more. You know what I'm saying? So that was a buzz killer. You know, and then you got them in. Nobody wanted like this. Look, Cena didn't need to wrestle his past. Cena didn't need to wrestle his past. For what? Now, there's a story there if you booked it better, like let's say Cena was a heel and his past was coming back to haunt him on his last ride. They weren't going to let him leave without facing the consequences of what you did. That's a story. But you couldn't do that because he was a face the whole time. Well, except for in 2003. Two, yeah. Late '02, majority of '03 until Survivor Series. Till before Survivor Series where he turned babyface. So that right there, you was trying to tell a story, but the character wasn't right. You know, so all of that, and now what is this? Gunther's going to be the what, the new Legend Killer? He's going to be the retirement killer or whatever. Like really? I don't care. I don't care. And then this is the other thing. the fans, the fans, all these posts, all these things that I seen the fans put up. You're the reason why WWE is so bad right now. Because you cheer this stuff, you cheer it, and they keep giving the BS. People are doing this, they're changing the channel. They're flipping to another app. Or they're watching a movie or a TV show instead of Monday Night Raw. But you, the fans, keep cheering for this stuff. Thinking that this is the greatest programming that you've ever seen in your life. While the rest of us who actually love professional wrestling have to sit there and watch this garbage because A, it's either our job to watch it, or B, we're still trying to hang in there trying to see if something is going to change. See, that was my issue in the 90s because I stayed then. As bad as WCW was, as bad as WWE was in the early 90s, particularly in 1995, as bad as it was, I stuck through it. Fortunately, it got better. You know what I'm saying? It got better. I'm not going through that again. I'm not doing it. Because I do go at the fans. And I go at the fans because it's your fault. It's your fault WWE continues to put on this garbage. It's your fault that you got Triple H up here thinking that he's doing something great. Where's the booze at? You know that storyline ain't good. And then it's you fans over here trying to play fantasy fantasy booker on guys that will not come to WWE. How many months did you, the fans, sit there and say, oh, well, it's going to be Edge. It's going to be Edge. It's going to be Edge. When clearly Edge said that he's not going back. He's retiring in AEW. And what Edge and Christian are getting ready to do, see, and I love this because now we get to see the comparisons. We get to see the comparisons at the same time. See, Sting didn't have that. Sting had the whole year to himself. But now we get to see the comparisons because Brock is supposed to be retiring, AJ is retiring. Now watch what AEW does with Edge and Christian, or Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. Watch their last year. Watch what they do. And everybody will see that AEW is far superior and respecting the lineage of these wrestlers to give them a proper send off. See, while in WWE, yeah, Brock will have a retirement match on Saturday night's main event. AJ will too. While in AEW, you're going to get pay-per-views. You're going to go out on a bigger stage the way you should go out. Not on no rinky-dink Saturday night's main event that nobody watches anyways. Now, people are going to watch because it's Cena's last match. I'm not going to watch. I'm telling you that right now. I'm not going to watch. I'm not. Because I am not going to sit up there and succumb myself to watching a man that, although he's had a good career, I will not say he had a great career. And I'm saying he doesn't have a great career because the booking of John Cena was all wrong. The booking of John Cena was all wrong. No matter how you cut and slice it, it was all wrong. There's a reason. There's a reason Hogan, the big star at the time, there's a reason why Hogan would change up from time to time. He finally got away from the red and yellow. Cena allowed Vince McMahon to tell him, no, we're making so much money off this. Well, you got to stay this. Now, I said this years ago, when I found out why Cena didn't turn heel after he first lost to The Rock. I said to myself, now I know this ain't 1996. I get it. But when you listen to the heartbeat of professional wrestling, you can make so much money off of that. Now, what do I mean by that? So let's take a look. That match happened in 2012, right? Now, a lot of us were saying, oh, Cena got to turn heel. It's time for him to turn heel. We was ready for him to turn heel then, right? The climate of professional wrestling was changing. And it was changing. Oh, excuse me. It was changing because of what New Japan was doing, right? It was changing because even though TNA wasn't the company it was before, they had a storyline called the Aces and Eights. Now, keep in mind, this is after NWO. This is pre-Bullet Club. And if you look at the way that they was presented, It was a very intriguing storyline. And then it got stupid. Then it just got stupid. I ain't gonna lie. It just got stupid. I was ready for it to be over and done with, and thankfully it was. Right. So, but when they ended, we're just getting into the Bullet Club era. We're just at the foundation, the beginning, the origins of Bullet Club. So fans are gravitating to more of that than they are of a guy running to the ring in some colorful shirt and some jorts and some tennis shoes. Yeah, of course the kids, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, but see, this is the thing. And this is something that Vince should have learned from the 90s. Those kids don't stay kids too long. Those kids start growing up and want something different. Yeah, those kids might cheer John Cena, yeah, John Cena, yeah, ooh, right? And then they're watching a movie of some guy knocking down a gang of people, cars flipping over, bombs going off, guns being shot, and being excited about that. Sure, you ask a lot of kids, I guarantee you a lot of kids, give me the evil Batman. Give me the Joker. Hell, some of you will even take the Penguin. Because these aren't the same kids. He manufactured a 80s 80s kids into the 10s, into the 2010s. He manufactured that because he thought that that same formula was going to work. It really didn't. It really didn't. Because us kids of the 80s are not the kids of the 2010s. A lot of them kids was up there listening to whatever drill artist was out at the time. You know, or they would rhyme to you a gangster rap song that they dads, you know what I'm saying, was grew up on. You know, and the one thing that I learned growing up is kids, although they like the fun, colory stuff and all that, they like that stuff. But there's a heel in every kid. And there's a heel in every kid that's just waiting to come out. And you see, this is the thing. You turn John Cena heel, now you can create the guy or guys that you want to see take John Cena down. Because the kids, now, if you roll with that, now the kids are going to hate John Cena. Now they're going to put their money into these other guys because they want to see them beat John Cena. Now that is an old Jim Crockett strategy where you had Dusty Rhodes, you had Magnum TA, you had Barry Windham, oh, excuse me, you had Sting, you had Lex Luger, you had Nikita Koloff, right? These is 5 guys in the 80s, just in the 80s, that wanted to beat Ric Flair. The only one who ever did was, well, no, it was Ron Garvin too. Yeah. Oh yeah, Ron Garvin. Yeah, that makes 6. So all these guys wanting to beat that guy, right? Now, if you go back and you watch them episodes of World Championship Wrestling, when Ric Flair came out, wasn't too many boos, right? They loved the heel. but they were still going to cheer the face. Because whenever that belt is on the heel too long, they do want to see the face take down the heel. And then some was triumphant, others it took a little bit longer. Lex Luger never did it because by the time it was Luger's time to finally beat Flair, he got suspended. He left the company, so I was kind of upset about that. You know, even though the decision at the Bash 88 got stopped because of blood. I'm like, oh my God, you serious right now? So you got that going on. And there's nothing wrong with that. But Vince was only looking at the money. He wasn't feeling what the fans were saying. You know, going back to WrestleMania 30, Bray Wyatt against John Cena. Why is Cena beating Bray Wyatt? Bray Wyatt is the hottest thing in the company, or one of the hottest things in the company at that time. And the newest, right? Why Cena didn't need that win? He didn't need that win. So I just brought up two things, you know, and there's other times where, and like I said, I'm not blaming Cena, even though Cena has played politics. He has played politics in a lot of these situations. Okay. But the ultimate decision at the end of the day comes from the boss. You know what I'm saying? And Vince was the boss at the time. He made the final decision. So, like I said, the way that they booked Cena, you know, so when you see this and you think about this, and then you come to today and you see how this past year has been, why would I want to go and watch that? Why do I want to go watch that? And the funny thing about it is, it will be the highest rated thing that's on TV tomorrow. Think about that. Or I should say, let me rephrase it. That will be the highest rated Saturday night's main event. Because there's going to be people that are going to watch just out of nostalgia. You know, oh, Cena's the wrestler. That's oh, let me go. You know what I'm saying? Probably ain't watched Cena wrestle in the last 10 years. You know, you know, some are going to watch because they want to see, is Cena going to lose his last match? Is Gunther really going to tap? Like, you know, I'm good. Man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, go ahead and watch. Oh yeah, I know GCW. Bring it. Yeah, AEW baby, all day. Oh, tell sis. I said, what's happening? I do remember that show. What? Omos? Omos is Yo, what's going on, Dave? Omos is in um, what's that company? Oh my, he's in like one of the lower companies. I can't think of the name, but for some reason they won't bring him back up. They don't. I don't. You know, we want to see Omos back. You know what I'm saying? We want to see Omos back. Yo, Omos, maybe if you try to get up out your contract, maybe you could holler at MVP and try to see if you could be part of the Hurt Syndicate. We heard people. We heard people. We heard people. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, and then the other thing about tomorrow that I'm not feeling is the Oba Cody match. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that whatsoever at all. You know, because you want to bring him up to the main roster. You want to see how he does on the big stage and all that. You don't need to sacrifice Ricky for that. You literally, and I know there's a lot of people that probably don't even understand that. You know what I'm saying? But as somebody that know the business a little bit, you do not sacrifice. And you see, the thing too is, this, and Ricky ain't gonna say nothing. He can't say nothing. You know why he can't say nothing? Because of what happened with him in AEW. Because of what happened with him in AEW, he can't say nothing. He cannot say nothing. Because if he start complaining and being mad at losing the NXT title, you know what he gonna hear, right? Well, you know, you could have stayed at AEW. You know what I'm saying? Like he gonna get. So he has to play the game. He has to play the game. And it sucks because although I cannot stand his name and I really don't like him over there, but the fact that they did put the belt on him as early as they did, and they was giving him a run with it, can let him continue on with the run. Because his ultimate goal is to be on the main roster anyways. And if you wanted Oba to be on the main roster, you did not need to put the belt back on him. You did not need to put the belt back on him. You know what I'm saying? This is a WrestleMania match that's being wasted before it ever comes to fruition. Because I do agree, Oba versus Cody is a big match. Do not mistake me at all. That is a huge match. Not for Saturday night's main event. And not to sacrifice another wrestler's run just to do it when you didn't need to do it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't need to do it. You could have started a program with him and Lesnar. You could have started a program with him and Lesnar. You gonna bring him up? And then you get Ricky versus Cody, best friends, Saturday night's main event. A wrestling match that will most likely steal the show. Now that's something that I would have watched. But all we're going to see is Oba throw around Cody, beat him up. Cody go, Then here comes the comeback. And then what happens after that, I don't know, because I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I do not care. So, but all right, y'all. I'm about to get up off of here. Thank y'all for coming through, chopping it up with me. This was fun. As usual. Hey, y'all know what the drill is. I don't need to say it. You know what I'm saying? Comment, like, what is that? Comment, like, subscribe, all that. You know what I'm saying? Tell your friends about it. Tell your friends about it. Tell your neighbors about it. You know what I'm saying? Tell your family about it. What's Cracking TV is about to take another step, another step. And y'all been on this ride with me. Y'all been on this journey with me. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget it. You know. So I know I got something for y'all. I'm gonna do something for y'all. You know, circumstances change as y'all know. So, but I will have something special for y'all. As a matter of fact, there's something that I got to do this weekend. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be for y'all, and I hope y'all will enjoy that because it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, very informative, very informative, very informative. I'll say that. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it is. I'm not gonna give it away, but let's just say, you know, when it comes out, you know, I hope y'all enjoy it. I hope y'all learn something from it. You know what I'm saying? And just enjoy it because it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be quite fun. You know. So with that said, with that said, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Friday night. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my Friday night, and I will see y'all tomorrow. AEW uh, Collision is on early too. It's on early. Remember that it's on early. So over there at Wrestle Tatis, and pretty sure No Dirt Sheets is going to be covering Saturday night's main event, and there's going to be some GCW going on. We got the homie Jesse with Frontline Black News. Get your black education and all that. And y'all will see me throughout the day tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'll be live or not, but y'all will see me in the chats. I will be in the chats. So cutting up like I usually do. You know what I'm saying? So Thea, please don't hit me with the wrench. Don't hit me with the wrench. You know what I'm saying? You know, so with that said, y'all, I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Peace.